Good day, and I love you. I'm Heather Peterson Lockhart, and I am the Chieftess. How's everybody doing today? I wanted to come on here and do a special presentation about what's going on in the sky right now and how that translates energetically to us beautiful beings on Earth, and what we can do with all of this energetic transition to bring balance back into our lives. For some of us, create balance for maybe the first time ever for some of us, and how we can translate balance into our daily life with everything that's going on in the world right now, so that we can stay on track, becoming the people we want to be, accomplishing the goals that we want to accomplish, and living the life that we desire. So that's kind of a lot right now with what's going on in the world, isn't it? I know that just today I have had many people hit me up this morning and say it's been a really hard couple of weeks. You know, this has been really, really rough times. Hi, how's everybody doing? I should probably slow down and say hello. I'm so Capricorn. I'm like, let's go. Presentation, get it on, get it going. Excuse me. So, yeah, and I want to say too, if you guys have questions, you can go ahead and put those in here, and I'll go back through here before I get off and see what I can answer before I finish. But, so yeah, just today I had quite a few people hit me up and say that times have been hard for the last couple of weeks, that things have been really stressful. And I'm here to tell you they're going to get more challenging in days to come. So I want to tell you what that looks like, what's going on, and what we can do to be in service to self and service to others. When we're truly in service to ourselves, we are in service to others. Because, I mean, like the divine aspect of self, you know, the part of you who is living your gifts in your highest light, right? Not the ego run rot part of self. So, just to be clear, I'm looking at this, excuse me, little bubble on my face. I went and pulled these, long story short, I got burned by a bug. I got burned by a bug yesterday, and it's made this little thing on my face, and I'm just noticing it even more now that I'm on camera. So anyway, let me not pay attention to that. Let me get back to the lecture at hand. Who knows what that is? Who knows what song that is? All right, so let's start as we always do. I want to tell you that I love you, each and every one of you, and I'm really grateful you're joining me today. If nothing else that I talk about resonates with you, I hope you find peace simply being here with me and looking at my beautiful self, listening to my balancing voice, and being here with the collective group. We already have a beautiful group of people gathered here. So we can all pool energies together and lend some balance to each other during this crazy time. So I'm going to grab my beautiful bowl here, and I'm going to play this bowl for a moment and encourage us to take 3 deep cleansing breaths together. This is a throat chakra. I'm sorry, I lie. It's not a throat chakra bowl. Apparently I need a throat chakra bowl since I'm a liar. This is a heart chakra bowl. So here we have a heart chakra bowl. I'm going to play this, and you can go ahead and open up your heart space, bring your heart center forward, close your eyes, and take a big breath in through your nose. Okay, hold on, bear with me. I think something got on my thing. This happened the other day. It was in there with a chamois, and I think I got paused. So much for the super smooth, relaxing breaths, right? So let us start over. So close your eyes. There we go. Okay, yeah, that was weird. Something's on my thingy there. Close your eyes and let us take a big breath in through our nose and out through your mouth. Take a big cleansing breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more, in through your nose and through your mouth. There we are. For some of us, that's the first deep breaths that we've had today. I wanted to say hello to all you beautiful people. Isn't this beautifully balancing? Thank you all so much for joining me. Again, this is a heart chakra bowl. Okay, so let's see here. We are in the new moon energies. We had the new moon in Leo the night before last. So what is a new moon? A new moon is activation, an activation for full moon harvest, right? The moon cycle has been used for eons by all creatures on earth, for balance, for survival, for knowing what, when. So right now we're in the new moon in Leo energies, which will carry forth for about 2 weeks. When we have a new moon, we're in the energies for about a 2-week period. And in this new moon specifically, this is an activation of our truth, individually and collectively. Pardon me. Goodness. Okay, let me start over. This is an activation of our truth, and we're being encouraged to roar our truth, to speak our truth, to live in our truth, and we can see this happening on the collective level. Bunch of yucky crap's coming out, isn't it? Junk that's not going to work anymore, right? And it's coming to the surface for us all to see, right? The truth is coming to the surface, whether we like it or not, whether we're ready to digest it or not. And I've talked about this. I made a video not too long ago. In fact, I think I'll retitle it. It was the I don't even know what it was. It was the new moon in Aquarius. That's what it was. And I was talking about blisters coming to the surface. And it's the same deal. So, you know, each of us, we're seeing it happen on the collective level. And then individually, we're having situations in our own lives where we're being really pressed right now to speak our own truth, right? Everybody's being pushed to set boundaries in some area of their life, whether it's relationships or your career, how you view and treat yourself, a combination of all of the above for most of us. We are all being pushed in a point where we're having to create boundaries, which means we're having to speak our truth. We're having to act on our truth. We're having to decide, this is enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. You're not going to talk to me like this. Or I'm not going to talk to myself like this anymore. Or I'm finally going to decide that there's more worth and value in my products, in my services for some of us, right? So I'm not going to have this junk in my relationships anymore, right? So, or I really want relationships. I want more relationships. I want more connection. And it hurts. And so I'm having to take action on that. So we're all having to step into our truth, to speak our truth in different ways. And moving forward, speaking and living in our truth and bringing it into our daily life is going to be the only way to avoid chaos. And I'm going to tell you why. This is crazy stuff that's coming up here. So, I mean, that really should be the truth, the way we live anyway. If you think about it, if you live in your truth, you avoid chaos, right? Because if you're living in your truth, you're attracting what you want. And so all is well. But most of us, that's not the case, right? So we have, let's call it a little more motivation right now. And I'll speak for myself. It's painful motivation. I have to speak my truth in some scenarios, or I can't even deal with myself, right? And for those that I work with, they're all in situations like that. One woman today is just like, you know what? I had to have a talk here. I'm sending emails there. And that's the case for most of us. At least if you're paying attention, you're probably getting some pressure in some areas, some pressure to change, some pressure to evolve. And moving forward, like I said, that's going to be the focus, you know, to activate your own personal truth and to bring that into your daily life. And the more we do that, the more we're going to live well. So right now, you know, we have the sun in Leo, and we have, which is the sun is self. The sun is our sense of self. And the moon is in Virgo. And Virgo's our lifestyle, our practicality, our everyday, our structure, our integration of our learning, right? It's the last sign of the first, it's the last zodiac sign of the first 6. Let me go your way. I forget. You know, when you're on video, it flips the image. So it's backwards. So it's the last zodiac sign of the first six, which means it's the integration of all of the learning of self, the survival, the primal understandings of who you are, what you need, what you like, what you want to live like, what you want to bring in, all of that before you bring it outside of self into the community, the other zodiac signs, right? And so this week especially, we have been specifically yesterday, the sun sextiled the north node. Now, I know this is a lot of astrology. I'm not going to stay stuck on astrology. Just hang tight for a sec, but this is important. We have a north and a south node, and they serve the moon, okay? Little lesson for us really quick. They are where we want to go forward in our life and where we've already been and don't want to go back to. In Vedic astrology, it is referred to as the head and the tail of the dragon. Rahu and Ketu. And so you want to go to the head of the dragon. You don't want to stay at the tail where it poops, right? You want to go to the path of evolution in your own life, and you don't want to go back to where you've either already mastered or where you have built, let's say, spent a lot of time forfeiting your power, okay? So this week, yesterday, today's Thursday, yesterday, the north node the sun sextiled the north node. So we were shown, in effect, think about yesterday. It's one of the reasons I want to make this video today. Think about yesterday and think about all aspects of your day. Think about what you did. Think about where your head was. Think about where you were daydreaming. Think about were you imagining something amazing and you're just like, and then, I don't even know where that came from. Did you meet anyone spectacular? Did you get any crazy out of the ordinary messages? Did you have people come and talk to you and notice a common thread in what they said? Did you have geez, everyone yesterday came and talked to me about this one thing? Did you have something like that? Because there was information presented yesterday as the sun sextiled the north node, which means basically the sun did a dance with the sun shined a lot of light on where you're going in the right way in your life, where you should clue into your own evolution, right? So it's a good idea at the end of this video, or make a point tonight to take some time and think about what'd you go through the last couple of days, right? Ginger mint booch. My new favorite. I think it's really my favorite. I always say that when I make something new, but it's been my favorite for a few days now, so still holding. Anyway, so this is a really great time to clue into our own life. And the thing is, some of you, I don't know. I'm used to working with people that are wanting to clue into their own life right now and wanting to clue into their own evolution. But there's still a whole lot of people that just, you get up, you grab the to-do list, you grab the phone, and you hit the ground running with that crap hit the ground so fast the devil doesn't, whatever. I'm not even going to go there. As opposed to being mindful from the moment you get conscious of what's going on within you and around you. How many messages are coming at you? How much information is being presented? How much information is inherently gifted to you in every given moment about how you can... I was on a roll. About how you can have the life you want, right? So, excuse me. This is really important because I said it's going to get a little more crazy. Now, I am very mindful about the words I choose. So let me slow down for a moment because I want to say this the way I choose to. We are 1 degree away from Mars squaring Saturn. And they're both in the rulership. They're in the home sign. So Mars is at home in Aries and Saturn is at home in Capricorn with all the other crazy big dogs that are hanging out in Capricorn and have been for forever and a freaking day. Freaking stellium in Capricorn. Anyone else who's a Capricorn understands my about that. Good God, could we get a break? Can we get a halftime? I was totally thinking this today. I actually woke up and I was like, fuck you, Pluto. Like, when the fuck is Pluto out of Capricorn? Sorry about the language, but that's how I feel about that. It's been a rough road. Pluto's been on our sign since what? I think 2008. I can't remember. And, that's death and rebirth. And so there's a lot going on in Capricorn. So you've got the old, Capricorn is the old structure. This is going to be the old versus the new. Mars is the young, the new, the warrior, right? Versus Saturn and Capricorn is the structures. I like to think of like the old white wigs, if you know what I mean. The haves and the have-nots. So this is the makings for the W word. We ain't even gonna say it. Let's say something like, I don't know, you know what I mean. And again, I present the low octave of what's going on, and I will present the higher octave. So this transit, well, if you talk about Mars squaring Saturn, it happens for anywhere from like a day or two to like a week. This is going to be happening for, I think, around 53 days. So almost 2 months. So a dynamic that presents energy that makes humans want to war with each other, that usually only happens for a short period of time and is plenty uncomfortable in that time, is going to be extended for an exponential, insane amount of time. Like, it's crazy, right? So if you thought things were chaotic now, it's gonna get more intense. And so for those that are not signed up to take responsibility for their own actions and their own feelings, there's going to be a lot of lashing out. There's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a lot of restriction. Now, I like to know these things. That's why I'm sharing this. Because if you tell me, like, I'm a Capricorn, I'm the GOAT, yo, like, show me that, oh my God, who was I? I think it was with who was I with? Was I with my son? It must have been. I wish I had this picture. If I remember where it is, I'll find it and I'll post it. But it was a picture of a goat climbing. And I mean, it was insane. I didn't want to look at it. Like, I'm still having the same response to it. It was horrific. The goat was climbing up and there was nothing below this part of it. This was the rocks and this is the rocks. This is open part, right? Rocks, open. Okay. And it's got its legs out, wedged in, crawling up where it's going to get smaller. And I'm like, how's it going to pop back up and go up the side? And how's it not just fall? Like, how does it not just fall out from underneath it? And it just looked like it was like, and I've watched those things. I've watched those things continue to climb. They just sit for a minute and they like look their next move and then they just go. They're insane, right? And I noticed that about myself. If I plot my course, if you tell me, hey, the next, 45 to 60 days is going to be really rough. It's going to be really rough and you would most benefit yourself by doing this, then I'll do it. Right? And I will say, thank you for the heads up. Or if you're telling me, you're going to have to train 10 times harder for this, but the payoff is going to be 100 times as great, I'll do it, and gratefully. And then the thing is, when I'm about to quit, because it gets so hard, I'll remember, like, they told you it was going to be this hard. They told you it was going to be this hard, hang in there, hang in there. So I'm sharing this because, for all those who want to trip out, there's every reason under the sun right now to do it. I'm sure there is. Everybody can find everything. There's just so much fear rolling around. But for those of us who want to evolve and be the highest version of ourselves, well, baby, we bought the ticket. Let's take the ride. We bought the ticket. Let's take the ride. Let's use this time as an opportune time. We've got we're about to step into Virgo season. We can take this time where we have energy to focus on our lifestyle and to focus on integrating what we've learned for the past 6 months. Let's do that in the best, most mindful way possible, right? Let's integrate new beliefs that tell us that, hey, the world is a safe place. We're super capable. We're beautiful children of God, brothers and sisters. And together we can make some magic. Right? Now, it sounds like pie in the sky because things are so nuts, So I'm going to tell you how I do this. I'm going to tell you how I do this, and I'm going to tell you how I can help you do this. And yes, this is about my village. So check this out. You know, for those of you who don't know, really fast story of the Chieftess. In 2012, I started learning a bunch of stuff that I couldn't handle. Didn't know how to handle. Didn't know how to stay in charge of my own self and my family and my life and not spin out of control and act like a fool, right? So I created this woman that I wanted to come to the village of Heather and teach me how to act appropriately and teach me how to act like a grown-up. And I had this thought in my head that if at the end of my life, if you could play my life back, right? I wanted to see this one woman start to show up more often than not, right? I wanted to see this one woman who showed up diplomatically and who liked sitting at a table and reaching an amicable outcome for everyone. I wanted to see her more often as the tape began, continued to play. I know that's I almost hesitated because that's such an old analogy that some people don't even know what I'm talking about. But as my life played forward, I wanted to see this woman and her presence more often. And I had no idea how to be her. I just knew how to blow shit up and hit people and get locked up and drink and avoid. Well, no, I was sober, so don't get me wrong. But still, I had limited tools, So I decided that I would have this woman called the Chieftess who could handle things like this. She could handle learning things like this, and she still, excuse me, she showed up and she took care of her tribe and she took care of herself and she knew how to do that. And I loved the idea of her. And so I began playing grown-up dress-up with this concept of this woman, this concept of self. And lo and behold, I summoned aspects of self that I didn't know I had, and I became who I want to be. It's funny, a couple years ago I was talking about writing my book, about writing about the Chieftess, and I said to my son, I said, well, writing about how I became the Chieftess. And he said, well, what do you mean? You are the Chieftess. And I started laughing, and I thought, how funny that people think I am now the person I created to try to become. Right? How cool is that? So in the village, that's what we do. When we go in, and the reason I created the village is there's so much craziness going on in life right now. There's so much craziness going on in the world that to have goals is wonderful, but it's really tough to have a lot of stuff that looks whack and looks upside down and looks lacking balance in front of your face, and to feel structured, balanced, and calm enough to learn new things, right? For most people, it doesn't work that way. They have, especially right now, we have family dynamics that are all kinds of different. We either have more people home in the house and they're interacting, or they're not getting, they're not getting things, they're not going places that they're used to going to feel well. They're not going to school. They're not going to appointments. They're not going to all kinds of stuff. So we've got all kinds of different dynamics going for people, and it's not necessarily creating the most balanced, comfortable, calm down households, right? It would be great if, since we're all home, we had all just figured it out. We were making this beautiful, healthy, home-cooked food, and everybody had learned how to wake up and take their own time to themselves and ground their energy and decide who they wanted to be. And then they came out of their room into the whole part of the house. And at that point, everybody was like, hi, I'm so full of myself and love with life itself that I'm ready to just cooperate. How are you? And the other person was like, aha, so full of myself and life. I don't know where that cut off. So, that would be a wonderful dynamic, but that's not where most people are. Most people are coming out of their rooms pissed off, freaked out. This isn't going on. I don't know what I'm going to do here, and blah, 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 right? And things are upside down. So I created a place where people can go and learn to do exactly what I just said. They can learn to balance their energy. They can learn to take care of their health. They can learn to be who they want to be on a consistent basis. We go together, we check in each day, and we work on a personal training program, we work on a nutrition program, and we work on self-improvement tools. And we do it together in a tribe. so we don't have to do it alone. And one of the biggest benefits of this environment is you get to immerse yourself in a community of the like-minded, okay? So it's not you going to just your home or your other place where you have all these goals and you're going to accomplish them by yourself, and you don't have a, accountability partner. A lot of people right now, they don't have a place to go to. They don't have the yoga studio that's open. They don't have the therapist that is having clients face to face, right? There's all these things, this connection that people are lacking, that we get in the village by going in there and meeting in here together. And it is online, but trust me, you get the feel. So it also provides the consistency because it's a daily accountability program. So I have worked this process with hundreds of people around the world now, and they have been able to sustain their lifestyle changes permanently, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. Because when you're talking about really doing something different with your life and changing the way that you believe you're capable and that the world itself is, that's no minor overhaul, right? So if we can do that together and you can sustain those changes coming out thinking that you're a pretty stinking amazing person capable of pretty stinking amazing things, then we've done some pretty stinking amazing work, haven't we? So I will post, we're taking people, we're opening on August 24th. That's next Monday. And we're offering $50 off initial enrollment. So if you want to come in and work the beautiful system where you get to learn to be so much of yourself that your cup is full and it runneth over, so beautiful with self and life itself, you can take $50 off your first month enrollment. And if you have questions, just get with me. I'll put my email below. You can email chieftessliving@gmail.com. So I'm going to look through here. I'm going to answer some questions and I'm going to pull some cards real quick. And then I also wanted to tell you that I'm taking 30% off my readings for the end of the month because things are crazy. So you can go to my website, thechieftessliving.com, and you can check out, I have multiple types of readings that I can do for you and help you learn more about what's going on in your own personal life, astrologically, with your health, help you ground some of this new energy if you're just delving into learning about spirituality, or maybe you're learning about different aspects of spirituality. This is a really nice place to start to give you some calm and give you some insight. So do check that out. They're 30% off through the rest of August. So go ahead and hit me with questions. I'm going to close my eyes and pick some cards real quick. I feel like we should have mood music. Whoops. That was easy. All right. How y'all doing? I'm so happy to see you. Is this similar to Mercury retrograde? So first of all, some basic info. When a planet is in retrograde, basically it's just moving in the direction that looks like it's moving backwards from the Earth. And so what happens during that period is a lot of things happen, but one of the things that I like to focus on is it's kind of a go back over what was presented. So if new information, always new information is presented, but new dynamics were presented. And so each planet corresponds to different energies, right? Like, for example, Mercury. You know, when people do little memes and stuff about Mercury retrograde, you always see that someone's computer went off, or they lost their email, or what else? You know, you lose your information, stuff like that. And that's because Mercury is the fastest planet. So Mercury is the planet of information. Mercury is the planet of logic. Mercury is neutral and able to help any other planet figure things out. So when you know these type of things, you get to look at, yes, could it mean that you're going to lose some emails and stuff like that? Sure. But can it also mean that you get an opportunity to go back through some things that you were just presented with, maybe a fine-tooth comb, in a more logical manner, right? Like to slow down and take your time and and have, like, not necessarily make decisions, but weigh things out more, because you're not going to be as logical when it's retrograde as when it's actively moving forward. And so the energies are like that with anything. You know, if you're trying to expand your business, you don't want to do it when you got, you know, in a Jupiter in Jupiter's retrograde. That's not going to be the best time to expand something, or and then you can apply those energies to, like, how they are in respect to another planet. Like, for example, right now, Jupiter is over with Saturn. That's what I was thinking about, if I wanted to share that or not. Jupiter is over with Saturn and Pluto. So Jupiter is expanding the chaos. This chaos. That's one of the reasons that things are so crazy right now. So, this is not the same energies as that. This is much more intense. Mercury retrograde tends to skew our logic, which for me, I'm like, well, fine, I'll work with my intuition, right? So this is I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, this is the makings of, it's if things were hot now, it's just more. It's more restriction. It's more chaos. I mean, we're 1 degree away from it, and it's going to last for a minute. So we'll be on officially in the square by, I think it's Monday. I think I looked at it. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know. All right, so let me show you what I have for, this is way bigger. Oh yeah. And this is why I challenge each and every one of you to become responsible for your damn self, and to choose this time to use it for your evolution, instead of punking out and finding everyone else and every other system responsible for your lack of comfort and well-being. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this time. I feel that what's happening right now, in fact, let me just speak on that really quick, since I do feel so strongly about it. What's happening right now, you know, what do you feel about taking risks? Now is the time to take risks. Take huge risks for the next 2 days. It's about that. It's about restructure. Like, people are looking at this like, oh, it's so bad, I can't wait till it goes back to normal. That stupid thing. Goes back to normal. To what normal? To the normal that wasn't working? To the normal where tons of people aren't getting what they need? You know, it's not personal. It's not that this one group did it wrong. It's that the systems are no longer adequate. And we don't have to find fault in them as much as we can say, hey, what was once built and worked no longer works. Now, let us spend our energy creating something. There's a quote here, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it exactly. Let us spend our energies creating a new structure that makes the old obsolete. We don't need to waste our energy talking trash, tearing it down, saying what's wrong. We need to take our energy and put it into self and evolve self. Become so stinking beautiful that you radiate beauty everywhere you go. Where people say, my God, she's so beautiful. She makes me feel good. He's so amazing. I love his balance. He makes me feel calm. Each of us can do that for ourselves. Then we can bring it to our family and to our community. And that's the answer. That's the answer. So, and I don't know too many people there yet. So I challenge each of you to do that for yourself. I shared the other day, my mama used to say, if you can't say something nice, shut your mouth. And she used to say it a lot because I had a habit of talking about the problem. And so I was often told to shut up. And I feel that way right now. I'm not saying there aren't problems. And for those who need this clarified, I understand that it has to be talked about and publicized to get people to know. Okay? I get it. However, there's a difference in sharing something and bringing it to light and then harping on it, calling your friend and telling them how bad it is. Those are two different things. Those are two different vibrations. Bringing something to light, bring it to light in the solution. I'm not saying there aren't problems. I'm not saying that people aren't at fault. I'm saying make yourself personally responsible as the solution for the solution. That's what I think. That's what I think about all of it. So, here are our cards. Y'all, yeah, those that know me well, I'm an extremely passionate person. I'm a very, I feel big. I feel very big. Okay, so let's see here. What do we have? All right, so the overall situation for us right now is the Prince of Wands. So this is stepping out of the shadows, and even though we might not know exactly how to do it yet, we can be brave. We have the opportunity right now. This is a trip. This is the card I drew after what I just said. We have the opportunity to transform and evolve ourselves into the best version of ourselves. And all we really need is bravery. We might not know what we're doing. We might not know how we're doing it. But for the sake of passion, it's almost an emotional need at this point. And this corresponds with this moon, you know, wanting to speak our truth, wanting to live in our truth. This is the Wands. This is a card of passion. And the energy presenting itself for us to learn from is the Magician, is the energy to evolve, to make magic. Now, when I draw this card, what I specifically ask is the energy being presented, possibly in opposition, for us to work with and learn from. And this is what we got. And what I just said, this is beautiful. This is saying transform into your best self. You know, this is making your highest version of self, going through the fire, you know, becoming the diamond through the coal, making magic out of what's been given. And what should we put in our heart, our head, and our hands to move forward in the best way possible? The Star card. And this means that we should decide that we are worth it, that this new journey is possible, and that magical, and that practical, and we can bring it into our daily life if we make ourselves a priority. If we forfeit our priority in this and divert our energy into everything that's going on around us, we will not be able to get to that point. And the outcome is the Two of Wands and the Prince of Cups. So this is telling us that we have the power to manifest if we take the higher road. This is the beginning of where we want to be. And And we've got this romantic, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect love. It can be as good as we're capable of right now, speaking the way we feel, not so much worrying about the way it comes out, but just expressing it, letting ourselves express our passionate truths. And that begins the road of our entrepreneurial, our kingdom, queendom, our desired balanced life, our desired manifestation. And who we're supposed to be is the Five of Pentacles. And I take this as this is telling us, don't stay outside. Don't leave yourself out in the dark here. Like, these two guys are huddled outside, and they look like they're freezing cold and ostracized. And yet look what's behind them. A trail of pentacles leading to a refuge, right? A church. See it? And all they have to do is walk in. All they got to do is take their cup and go get some, right? But they're sitting out here huddled. So this is telling us that it's time to step into the good life. And all we have to do is be brave, right? This is the life we want. All you got to do is step up, speak your truth, be passionate. Don't worry if it doesn't come out perfectly, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. All you got to do is decide that you're worth it. And just that you're going to make yourself a priority, and you're going to put yourself in that. In that we work magic. In that we transmute. In that we transcend. Y'all, this is a law of attraction universe, not a law of resistance universe. A law of attraction, right? Transmutation, transcendence. This is saying, use this time. Use this time for you. Decide it is for you, not against you. That's the truth. That's the gospel. This hard time is for us. Because you know what? Some shit needs to change. For real. I always look at it like I always tell you. To me, I look at God as a parent, specifically as a mama. I told this analogy before. I'll tell it again real quick. I'm your mama. I told you to clean your house. I told you to clean the room, clean up your crap. I'm sick and tired of you leaving your crap all over the house, and you have left it everywhere, and now it's all in the way of your brothers and your sisters. I want a clean house. I want us to be able to focus. I want us to be able to get together. I've told you over and over again, you are not cooperating. I've now gone through the house. I've picked up all the crap. I have dumped it all in the middle of your bed. I tell you, good luck on that. You're not sleeping in your bed till you put it all away. If I see it on the floor, I will get you up in the middle of the night. I will help you, right? And I'm so mean about it. Am I being a mean mom? Am I being harsh? Am I being a great big jerk because I don't like you? Or do I want a healthy, happy home? And I am doing what I need to ensure the happy, healthy home, right? I'm reading. So I'm protecting our environment. I'm not being a great big fat jerk, right? That's what's going on right now. This is the shit on our bed, right? And nobody can sleep till it gets cleaned up. Well, I think it's great. I think it's fabulous, right? And so I just decide, instead of stressing out that it's all jacked up, that I've only got to do my personal part in a day. And really my own personal part is, well, just to be beautiful. Because then, you know what? I radiate beauty. I be my best self. I bring my gifts forth, and I love on me and I love on you. How about that, right? And it's not so hard. It actually is much easier to simply focus on myself than focus on everybody else. Which is, again, I'm going to bring it full circle. What we do here in the village, we focus on ourselves so that we can be a better aspect of self for everyone we interact with. Our family, our neighborhood, our community. So, if you are interested, please let me know for more information. I'm going to be putting information online in the next couple of days. Excuse me. So there's going to be a $50 off enrollment through the end of the month. And 30% off my readings through the end of the month. Again, thechieftessliving.com. And what else? I think that's it. I love you all. I love you all so much, and I thank you for joining me. And Kelly, be gentle with you. Just decide that it's all for you. Every single day, no matter what happens to me, I'll speak personally about today. I had something that really hurt my heart this morning. It just really hurt my feelings. I only laugh when I'm uncomfortable. I mean, it really, really, like, it hurt me so much that I was like, whoa, really? Like, it's that much for you? Whoa. Like, I had to sit still for a while, right? And it made me mad. It made me really mad. It made me mad because I was like, well, why? What was that for? Why couldn't we just skip that? You know? And then I was like, dude, where's your trust? What are you talking? Like, I have these talks in my head, you know? The part of me that was, you know, the part of me that wanted to play was sad. And the other part was like, and so she was just like, you know, she just want to take her ball and go home. And she's like, well, why do we have to even do that? Like, why couldn't we just skip that? I knew I should have got a tissue. But then I was like, you're going to talk about astrology. There's no way you're crying. I should have known better. And so then the other part of me, the higher part, is like, you know, hey, what happened to Heather's all about the experience. And so I showed up to comfort myself. I showed up to say, I understand that you're sad and you have every right to be sad and it's okay. And then I said, thank you. I said, thank you for the experience because, you know, kind of like that, better to have loved and lost and better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I decide that everything is for me and it's just my job to figure out how. And so today I decided that I got to see some things were possible and I got to have some more experience in something. And perhaps I wish it would have lasted, but that just wasn't the way it was supposed to be. So my job is not to figure out why it didn't last or what happened that changed it. My job is just to be grateful for the experience I got. Do I need to change anything on my end? Like, do I feel like there was a bad experience where I don't want to duplicate my behavior? If that's not the case, then you know what? God's design, not mine. My only job is to get in line with knowing it's my highest good, where I can get my heart and my energy in a place where I say, hey, thank you. Thanks for that. So I think that's really all any of us can do right now on earth, honestly. You know? Resistance is futile. It's really the truth, though. There's just no sense in it, you know? So, that's all I have for today. If I can help you all in any way, if you would like a reading, if you are interested in my services, please go to my website. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put the link underneath here. And I will be back soon to start talking about some more nutrition information and energetic healing, ways that each of us can improve the quality of our life, increase our energy, feel and look younger and better each and every day. There are so many things that we can just do that are simple and free and readily available. So I'm grateful to be here with you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thanks for joining me.